All right, so this is our project statement. It was that many times people do not want to start one of their tasks, chores, or assignments because either they don't know how to do it or they don't know how long it'll take them. And our proposed solution was that we could make a task splitter that will help students to turn large assignments or homeworks to smaller parts that they can understand. It will show them how to do the task and split it up into smaller parts, and it will show how much each part will take. And they could be able to do these tasks quickly and easily, with no confusion and without any distractions or procrastination. This could also be very helpful for students who are unable to process large tasks or large amounts of information, or a very short attention span, such as those with mental disabilities, such as ADHD. By splitting the task up into smaller parts and giving a specific time frame to complete it in, the 86% of high school students who report that they have procrastinated on assignments and the 3.3 million students who suffer from mental disorders such as ADHD will be able to complete these tasks with no problems and interferences. Um, During our project, we did face some problems such as insufficient training data, a lack of a good LLM or model in the beginning. We had some severely limited hardware to run any models we found. The repository for one of our LLMs, GPT, the UI could not be found, and the Llama LLM didn't have enough memory to retain knowledge of previous conversations. Even though we did face many problems in the beginning, including no available model and no data to train the model on, we will succeed in the end and create this amazing product to show to you all.
Okay, the proposed solution in our approach. A good solution for this problem is to use an LLM, which is a large language model. However, these things do not come free like the really good ones, but we were eventually able to find some um, mediocre ones that worked. The first one is the Llama 2 LLM, which is by Meta, and we also found a GPT that we tried to like explore, called the Falcon 7B fine tune. And because we have limited hardware, we couldn't use the like 40 billion parameter or 65 billion parameter versions of these. We had to stick with the 7 billion parameter versions. And we also, since we didn't have a data set, that we could find, the Llama 2 LLM actually did not need a data set because it would, all we had to do is provide the context, and it would try to split up the task and give time estimates, and which would eventually lead us to like achieving our goal. This The LLM actually ended up being like the main one that worked better than the GPT. Um, the LLM was it was pretty simple. They were both pre-trained models, but the GPT was useful for keyword detection, unlike the LLM, which was more broad. The GPT it trained pretty well, but unfortunately could not be tested because we don't have any like kind of testing data. So the LLM was like the main model that we used. But there is proof that the GPT model trained, just we don't know how well, because the starting loss was around 4.6, and given 72 epochs, it decreased to around 2.3. But both were good choices, and we were able to succeed in our objective with both.
So this was our code. So we just imported the Llama LLM from Meta, and we used the text generation web UI module to actually display it. And we have to set that I set the maximum new tokens, so the maximum length of the outputs to 4,000 tokens, and we set the creativity level to neutral. We had to provide the context, which was to split the given prompt into smaller tasks and provide an estimated time frame for each split task. And our input was I have an English essay and the benefits of having a cat. And using this, the output was it was able to easily break down the task into research, show how much time each part took, and outline a plan. And it was able to tell us to write how much time the writing introduction and body paragraphs would take, and the conclusion, editing, revision, and give us the approximate time frame for the whole thing.
In conclusion, this AI task splitter was a success for the most part. It has a huge capability to improve our societies and change the world. However, with more time and effort and even better hardware to run better models on, like the ones with more parameters, it can be expanded and provide better results, uh, as well as kind of extend this project into like performing other tasks, like even helping with the actual tasks, possibly. Um, and and as was said before, being able to split the tasks into the subtasks helps students digest like larger tasks easily, and it can eliminate interruptions that many people face. This project truly does have the capacity to change the world. Here are some of the resources we used. Hugging Face, which had some pre-trained models. We also explored on GitHub for inspiration. And these are some statistics that we used in our introduction and the actual collab setups. Thank you.